They're dumping iron onto the black market?
Yeah, the amount of steel they're producing doesn't quite match up with the amount of iron ore being mined. That's been the case for quite a few years now.
Officially, the reason given is that the purity of the ore being mined is lower now than it used to be. But if you look at what's coming out of the mine, there's no evidence of that.
Well,
So what?
that would explain why the figures don't add up.
And because they were feeding the raw iron onto the black market rather than the finished steel...
That makes it a lot harder to notice when a little goes missing here and there.
Man, Toa put all the pieces together on her own?
She's a genius.
I'd expect no less from my beloved Toa.
Nah, private investigation.
She poured over everything. Rhineford's yearly sales figures, government reports on the mine's productivity, you name it. That's how she picked up on the discrepancy.
Orgy, your face got cut off.
She's really something else.
Iron ore being sold off the black market, accounting sheets that don't add up. George, how much iron ore is unaccounted for, roughly speaking? Do you know? Assuming for a moment that all the missing iron was refined into steel, how much steel would we be looking at?
This is just a bit of speculative math on my part, but I'd say somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 Torum, which is enough to build 2,000 oxen tanks.
2,000?
That's practically an army.
The Saxon iron mine is a pillar of the Empire's economy. The amount of iron they pull out of there is almost ridiculous. Even if you pocket a small amount every year, it's going to add up to a lot of iron real quick.
But what are they planning to do with all of it? Is the noble faction trying to make their own tanks in secret?
They couldn't even if they wanted to. Only the second factory has the knowledge and equipment to make tanks. And not only does the second factory have close ties with the Imperial Army, it also leans toward the reformist faction.
You need all kinds of complicated technology to make even a basic tank.
Unless you require like a chip.
It's not as simple as just grabbing some steel, some blueprints, and some grease and getting to work.
So what does that leave them? Selling the iron to another country for profit? I don't know how likely that is. Seems like deals that big would be too easy to trace.
Okay, so setting aside the ore itself for a moment, now that you know this, and given what's happening in Ruhr right now, what were the two of you planning on doing?
Oh. It's pretty simple. My uncle oversees the first factory, and the provincial army is blockading the mine. There's no way my family isn't involved. On the other side, you've got all the miners just trying to do their jobs who got dragged into this whole mess. I'm a Ragnar. I might not be a great daughter, but there's no way I'm gonna let this go on without putting up a fight.
You still gonna join the team?
Angie.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're seriously gonna go talk to your old man about this?
Heck yeah.
Hell no. Like he'd even listen to a word I said. Same goes for the provincial army. I'd just be wasting my breath. That's why I'm planning on sorting out this mess myself. I used to work part-time in the mine. I know the place like the back of my hand. As long as I can find my way inside, I think I can handle the terrorists well enough.
I figured you'd say something like that.
Honestly, does nothing faze you?
Nope.
In that case, I'd like to ask that you take us along.
We can look at this as a test of how to best respond to a sudden crisis.
Marcus.
Looking at it from that perspective, I think it fits neatly within the scope of our field study.
Yeah, after hearing all that, I don't want to let them have their way.
Agreed.
I'm with Angelica here. My family's involved in this too. I feel like I have a duty to do something about it.
Thanks. Truth be told, I was kind of hoping you'd back me up anyway. Whatever help you can give, I'll take it.
Well, that's that.
The next thing we need to consider is how to slip into the mine without the provincial army taking notice.
That secret passage?
At the very least, Angie should be able to get the officer in charge to talk with her, but...
So, what, you sneak inside while she's distracting them?
I don't know. That sounds a little overly simplistic to work.
Leave finding our way in to me. If anyone's good at cutting red tape, it's my mother. Maybe she could help us out.
What? She could. Would she?
Well, if you think so.
Alright, I'll leave securing an alternate route to you then. For now, I'm gonna see if I can find out anything else about my family's or the Provincial Army's involvement here. George, give Toa a call and see if you can find out what the Imperial government is doing about all this.
Gotcha. I'll see if I can turn up any machinery that might be useful too.
This is starting to feel like last year's field studies all over again.
What you mean by that, Crow? We were glad to have George, Angelica, and Toa backing us up. In a crisis like this, we need all the help we could get. And as our first order of business, we went to see Chairman Irina, hoping she know a way to sneak into the mines. Oh, she doesn't get to join the party. We should get going too. Your mother should be back at the Rhineford headquarters by now, right? I think so. Sharon says she'd be in around noon. We can always just ask the reception desk though. Ja. Looks like we'll be kicking into high gear again. Laughing, I feel like every field study is destined to end up like this. The question is, can I turn in my quest? So let's turn in the gun request. Complete the testing? I see. How did it go? Any significant problem? Nothing worthy of mention, no. I see, that's excellent news. How did the test weapon feel to use? Was it as powerful as you hoped? Well, the shot trajectory was stable, making it easier to aim at specific targets. It was a significant improvement over any other shotgun I've used in terms of power too. It really made me appreciate the quality of Rhineford products. Really, I'm relieved to hear that. It sounds like it won't be long before we begin mass production then. I'm surprised you haven't started already. Yeah, it sounds like the new unit is pretty much perfect as it is. We still need to complete a long-term endurance test, I'm afraid. There are strict procedures. Was it procedures? Which needs to be followed. Oh, yep. In order for a weapon to be declared fit for sale. There's much more incentives than the requirements for consumer good. Well, orbital weaponry is generally designed to be sold in bulk to the Imperial Army, so naturally standards needs to be higher. Precisely. But your testing helped us take a big step towards completion, so thank you very much for your assistance today. Here's your reward. Mechanic Goggles, thank you very much. Come to think of it, I still haven't returned the gun I used for the test. Oh, that won't be necessary. Consider that as an additional reward for your help. The orbital unit was designed purely for test purposes, so we couldn't use it for a finished product regardless. I see. In that case, thank you very much. If that's everything, we should probably get going. Yes, of course. Thank you again. I hope this won't be the last time we work together. Shots fired. Completed. That's why I did not buy Machias's gun. Because you'll tend to get the... They tend to let you have the free weapon. Oh, so that's why Sharon was selling it. I need to go turn this one in. What are you guys looking at? She must have finally realized our burning love for her. Squeal, Lady Angelica, Lady Angelica. Guess what? Lady Angelica was here. Lady Angelica. I can't believe she came all the way here to see us. I just need to turn in the request. You defeated the monster on the highway to the south, did you? Not too sorry for students. Thank you very much. Well, keep up the good work. Here's your reward. Saf. Thank you very much. And with that, you're excused. I got no idea what kinds of other tasks you've been given, but don't get yourself involved in matters that don't concern you. Understood? Right. You were the highway monsters. What's the other one?
Right.
Whoops.
Okay.
Go!
Oh, and that was all of it. Because that last one was a short cutscene. Yeah, because when I cut away, I wanted to use the restroom, so I forgot. Is she here? Lady Elisa, thank goodness you're alright. I was so worried I heard you left the city. You're talking about the trouble at the mine, right? Actually, I was hoping to talk with Mother about that. Is she in her office right now? Jeremy Arena returned just a short while ago. Would you like me to set up an appointment? There is no damn appointment. Yes, that's right. Lady Lisa has. Understood. He says she can see you right now, though she can't spare more than a few minutes. If you head... What? If you want to, head right up right now. What? She's waiting in her office? What? That first sentence is kind of weird for me. Thank you. This shouldn't take long. Alright, let's head up to floor 23. Right. Why do I get the feeling Sharon is going to be right there to welcome us? You can count on it. Let me see. There should be... Man, you should have 4 elevators, not just 2. Traveling to 23rd floor will cause the main story to advance. You will no longer be able to walk around Royer and the surrounding area. Be advised that any incomplete quest in Royer will expire if you do so. Well, screw it. Let's do it.